normally I do it like clockwise or anti-clockwise, depending on the overlay, but I can't see the overlay.
And our
My
audio
name
is
is
working.
Callum. My pronouns are they, them, and new if you don't know me. I will be this game's storyteller slash lore keeper slash whatever term is in the Vampire the Masquerade book. I can't tell because it's in a different color font on the rest of the page. Um, I will now look at the stream on my phone and tell you that the first person up, I will go anti-clockwise to give Magpie some time to cope. Uh, I will introduce the first player, Bard. Introduce yourself. Tell the internet where you can find you, your character's name and pronouns, and your own if you feel like sharing.
Hi, everybody. I'm the bot with many names. You can find me basically everywhere on the internet as the bot with many names. And I will be playing Foxy, the gangrel eagle.
Thanks for coming along, Bard. Hi, Monroe.
Hey y'all, I'm Monroe. I use he, they pronouns. You can find me on the internet under Monroe Row as primarily as a game designer, writer, and sensitivity reader. I will be playing Gabriel. Toreador uses he, him pronouns. I'm so excited.
You know what? I shouldn't have started with Bard. I've just realised the horrible mistake I made. And finally, we have Magpie.
Am I audible now? I pressed the
I also
button.
need to fix. I need to fix Nightbot.
Ah, I'm audible now. Killed it. I'm sorry. I've got so many buttons to press.
I listen. It turns out doing this yourself is actually fundamentally more difficult than you could possibly imagine. Um, and and I thought it would just be easy, an easy thing to do. And me and Magpie had a meeting in Magpie's car and then their living room because their living room's just that big that you can fit their car in it. And um, and I was asked, "Oh, I want to play Vampire again. Callum, can you run Vampire?" And I'm like, "I guess." So here we are, and that's the backstory to this game. So chat knows, and I fixed Nightbot, so it won't start telling you about a fundraiser that ended last month. This game is Vampire the Masquerade. This is V5 of Vampire the Masquerade. It's the latest one. Turns out the game has a really problematic history with themes such as racism, classism, sexual content, addiction, and lots of other complicated reasons why people don't like those old books. Other than that, they're also
Mental
really
health.
complicated to understand. Yeah, and mental health. That's a big one. Turns out Vampire the Masquerade has fixed some of, but not all of, its problems. This is just a fact of the system. We've had long conversations about the things that we are engaging with in the theme of this game. So please, player discretion. Sorry, viewer discretion is advised. We have safety tools in place for us to start conversations, and people are able to communicate with me if they are comfortable or not. That may happen on stream. That might happen in private DMs. So if I look like I'm looking in 16 different places, that is to secure my players feel safe. There is one player not with us today. Uh, Kieran will be joining us next week. Um, any other cleanup I need to do before we start? Um, yeah, again, just to advise, despite our opening chaotic nature and a certain woo woo, we have built a world of somewhat darkness, which is the sequel world to World of Darkness. It's the sequel. It's the world of somewhat darkness. And somewhat darkness is just what we have decided to go with and what I will build. Um, cool. So we open in the centre of Cardiff, the capital city of the greatest country on earth, Wales. Um, the city of Cardiff is a really strange mix of, in the centre of town, the centre of city, a large built-up area of the modern high street. You have the big brand shops, the tall skyscrapers. It is a metropolis, but it's really tightly contained to the centre of Cardiff. As you move further out to Cardiff, you have large parks, you have long streets of residential housing that kind of, depending on where you are in the city, will either be really big stone houses of kind of like an upper class echelon. Each of them is completely detached with a bit of a garden at the front and the back. Or the other side of Cardiff, where you have really tightly compact, all rows of lower income housing. City Road is a road where every other shop is either a hairdresser, a takeaway, or a shop for your weird oddities or local, I mean, or like culturally relevant uh, group that are in the area of City Road, which is kind of like the kind of key point of where a lot of the migrant and immigrant population lives within Cardiff. Um, as you travel further out, you end up in large expanses where there isn't as much. It's a very odd hodgepodge city, but I love it to bits. In the centre of Cardiff, and right next to the metropolitanly built up area of the metropolis, is a castle, a walled castle, uh, which you can walk out of a nightclub across the road, and straight in front of you is a castle wall. Inside the castle walls is a large area of green with a tower in the center of it on a small hill, which is the castle proper. But it is the night. It is probably around midnight, the time where Cardiff is probably its loudest. As if if you were stood on the castle walls facing the rest of town, of the rest of the city, you would see a street lined with drunk people going from club to club, people trying to get into the McDonald's, but being told that the 24-hour McDonald's is closed, and getting really confused about it. So having to go to the other 24-hour McDonald's, which is around the corner, and also being told that it's closed and being confused. As the street reaches down from Cardiff Castle down to round the corner from the train station, and this street has pubs, bars, and doors with stairs going up into gentlemen's clubs. There's at least 3 of them that you don't notice the first 5 times you visit Cardiff, until you spend too much time in Cardiff. You look to your left and go, I've never seen that place before. What is it? Oh, it's that kind of establishment. I didn't know we had those. Stood looking out at the city from the castle is a smartly suited man. Though he is not a mortal man. He's a vampire. Rather than like suited and like rather than the suit being really smart with a tie, instead his shirt is open a couple of buttons. It's a loose jacket. It's finely fitted so that it's slim on him, but it is not particularly like it is more of a modern attractive suit. Has brown slicked back short hair. He's I think I've mentioned it. He's a white man, and he is looking at a watch on his wrist. Also of note, the scene is bustling with noise because there is a concert being performed in the grounds of Cardiff Castle. Some modern pop group with an audience singing and cheering along that covers the sound of this conversation perfectly, to the point where the people having it may have to speak up a bit because it's so loud. The um the man standing there looks down at the street where a shadow that he looks towards, eyes look back at, while four people approach this figure on the walls of the castle. These are, if I can get my document up, we have a about a 5'5" trans male, white, short, blonde hair, which has got a little bit of frizz to it. Next to him is slightly taller, around 5'7", Desi female, wearing kind of a mix of streetwear and a kind of Indian inspired scarf around her neck, which is really, really fine material. Next to them is a he is taller than the other two people, but because his default state is to be hunched over, you wouldn't be able to tell. He has scraggly, long, kind of grey hair, with very long fingernails. This is another white man. And then finally, on the end, dressed in a very bright purple attire that looks like they are ready to go out into the night, is a trans woman who is about the same height as the second figure that we saw. Her hair is kind of tied up in I don't know how to describe it. A party bun, which isn't a thing, but we're going to go with that because this is
It
how
is.
Callum describes people. The figure who we first saw turns around and looks at the four. What time do you call this then? I don't like being keeping waited. Keeping waiting? I'm sorry. Who said you're in charge here? Because I don't think you are. Yes, I see. Well, is there anything that you have summoned me here for particularly, or is this just this is our monthly conversation? Yes, thank you for reminding me. You're all very fortunate. Fortunate? Fortunate? You're fortunate we didn't kick you out of this goddamn city, mate. Well, as the Prince of Cardiff, and yeah, an Englishman calling himself Prince of Wales. When has that happened before and gone down well? Are you here to insult me, or is there business to attend to? All right. Yeah. Okay. Don't mind me. There is animosity between this group, quite clearly, as we have the Prince of the Camarilla and the four barons of Cardiff who represent the anarchs within the city. It has come to our attention. This is the Desi woman. It has come to our attention that a faction within Cardiff is unhappy with the status quo. I don't know what you mean. If you have evidence of any, no, not you, a third party, if you will. We don't know who they are quite, but some of our markings around the city have been destroyed. They have placed their own markings on top of what we had. And the gangrel, the man who's hunched over, hands the prince a poster. And on the poster is a kind of symbol of um, two skulls. So it's like a skull cut in half, and both skulls are slightly different. Um, do you recognize this? No, I don't. Is he lying? Not that I can tell. Fine. Kind of walks away from the prince, looking him up and down with like a deep sense of suspicion. If this really is a threat to our city, we would need to deal with it together. I will have my best people put on it. Now, if you excuse me, I really have other business to attend to. Anything else? No. Fantastic. I have a party to go to. And slinks into like a part of the castle and is gone. And the four barons look to each other with suspicion, as if they were expecting something a little bit different from that conversation. Anyway, in another part of Cardiff, to the north, so it's about the same level as the castle, but it is to never eat shredded wheat. To the east side of the metropolitan area of Cardiff, there is the National Museum of Cardiff, or the National Museum of Wales, which is in Cardiff, and a late night exhibit has been an opening of an exhibit at night, kind of like a social do, is currently underway, which is where we find our coterie. So, I think we start with Gabriel, because this is some of your work that is being opened. Not necessarily your art, but you have put together the parts of this exhibit, designed it, overlooked the running of it during your late night activities, trying to cover up the fact that you are not human. It is a collection of art from various parts of the world. You didn't choose every single part, but you had a few specific choices of presentation, placement, and like there was a couple of options of like, do we want to show this or this? What remains in our collection? What doesn't? And you got to make some choices to do with that. What you know about this exhibit is it is a showcase of lesser known mid-European artists who, so this is like basically if your name wasn't Leonardo da Vinci or Picasso, Picasso or like someone that we know. This is a bunch of people who haven't had whose work has been discovered and then presented as like, look, here's our contemporaries of other artists who we don't think about, but probably like were gonna be forgotten forever if we hadn't put this exhibit on. Um, it is winding down. The party would be winding down because it's midnight. It's really late at night. This should be when the event closes. But about an hour ago, you had a new influx of people because obviously those people have only just woken up. With the status quo of Cardiff being a stalemate, which has become a peace agreement, Camarilla and Anarch alike might have come to this party looking for company or food for the evening. This area is tightly within your domain as a coterie. However, due to your status, people have been given permission to hunt in your area. You may not have agreed with this, but it has been said people are allowed to hunt in your area as long as they don't make a mess. At this kind of event, where would we find Gabriel? And let's give the audience a description of Gabriel.
Yes, Gabriel would be back and forth between being a good host and just admiring the art itself. Gabriel is roughly 5'7", 5'8", medium skin toned Mexican trans man with dark curly hair, slight shaved on one side, ears adorned in jewelry, wearing a lot of rings. He's in a nice sweater with a blazer, but there's pins, all sorts of pins on the lapel in these slightly not obnoxiously, but bright, like marigold yellow pants. They're his favorite. With these sort of Oxford style, but they shimmer like oil slick in that purple green shoes. And yeah, he's just, despite the fact that he looks like he's in his mid to late 20s, there's already bags under his eyes, but he tries to hide them with these obnoxiously colored glasses. And yeah, he's just back and forth between talking to people and admiring the art.
So your boss, who works in the museum, in the kind of like artistic side of the museum, who helps you with your role at the museum, is kind of comes over to you. They have had one or two too many drinks. Gabriel, I am going to have to go. It is too late for me, and I told my partner I would be home about 2 hours ago.
Why are you still here then? Just go. I can take care of the rest.
I got carried away. Do you know how good that wine is? It's really good.
When don't you get carried away, darling? I will take care of everything here. Just go, please.
Yeah, they dash off. I think that's kind of true about most of the staff. Have all kind of gone their own ways. We now have the rest of the people here are fancy arts people who've come to show off the fact that they know what art is. People who have gone, "What is this?" and walked in, and those who seek something extra, kindred like yourself, who are scouting out. You've noticed about 4 of them roaming around looking. Some are here for like 2 of them have been actually genuinely looking at the art. The rest have been looking at the people rather than the art. So I think after this conversation, you might go and have a look at some of the images that are put up on the wall, the pieces of art, and you're drawn to a piece of art that looks at you. So you look at it, and you feel like it's looking back at you, and you can't quite put your finger on to why that is. It is a large kind of landscape picture of um, a vista. There are tumbling hills, a couple of houses. In the far distance, you see a very large house, but obviously because it's so far in the picture, it comes off as quite small. Um, but rather than the usual greens to represent this kind of vista, there's a lot of grey and faded colours, and that is how it was originally intended to be. Its artist is unknown, but it was discovered in a collection in kind of like East Europe, um, kind of your former Soviet states area of Europe. Um, but yeah, you're just drawn in by this image. It caught your eye during the conversation you had with your boss, but you've kind of been drawn towards it. Well, let's check in with how your other coterie members are potentially ruining this party. We'll go to. I'm gonna regret asking this. So, what does Foxy do at this kind of shindig?
Callum, I don't know why you ask it that way. Foxy is here to support her friend. So, Gabe, as a question, is there any kind of like fancy lounge jazz music playing? Or is it just quiet to let the art like really get you?
I feel like to fit the mood of the art, it would be more symphonic type music playing on the speakers. Very romantic period, probably.
Oh god damn it, yeah, okay. Sorry, I had a lot of music in school, and I'm getting remembrant. Yeah. However, if you stand next to Foxy, you hear that beautiful romantic music, and you hear as that one girl, you're not even sure if she's like 18 yet, standing in front of one of the pictures with headphones on, and like those fox ears look real, but they're a bit like headphones on and listening to Bad Apple on a volume that would kill any mortal's ears in like 5 seconds. I'm not. I can't look at Callum or else I'm gonna laugh.
There is like a group of like two upper class white guys and a lady who's an older white and like an older white lady who are all holding drinks with their backs to you, like looking around for someone in charge.
Oh, Foxy got a drink too. Like she has like a McDonald's cup. It's not filled with soda, but she's got like a McDonald's cup, holding it and like zipping it from time to time, looking at the pictures. And Foxy looks like an e-girl. Like you all know, like the Catholic school skirt rule of you put your arm down and it's not it has to be below the fingertips. Foxy's skirt stops here. She's wearing overknees, one white and pink, one white and light blue. A shirt kind of like this, like it's black. She got a bit more fancy. You can still see her bra straps. And just like having a good time looking at it, and like very not so subtly looking at somebody looking at her, going to that person, probably one of the old people, and is like, what do you think about that one?
Well, you see, I'm not familiar with the artist's other work. This is quite a and like can't decide where the eyes should go on the painting, on you, what part of you they're meant to look at. They are just like
Eyes up here. What do you think of the
uh,
painting?
it is fine for its period, but unremarkable at best.
Did you just say that my friend picked an unremarkable picture for their gallery? Excuse me? Is that what you just said?
Not at all. This is actually a exhibit of starts talking down to you like you don't know what the exhibit
Did
is.
you just call Gaby Gabe a bad whatever people are called to put together pictures into a gallery? Curator, was it right?
Creator. There we go. Curate. Yeah, that's the word that I didn't say earlier because I forgot as well.
Not
Well,
very
actually,
nice, you know.
I think you'll find that this exhibit is of unremarkable artists from their specific eras. These were the forgotten
Remarkable
artists who did not receive the acclaim of the time, and this is a fine example as to why.
Did you know that Picasso stole his style from a woman? He looked at a picture of like a 16-year-old and was like, hey, that looks cool. I'm going to steal that. I believe his wife was also like 15 when he married her, and he was like in his 40s.
Could you give me a charisma and etiquette roll, please?
So 4 plus 2, right?
So,
I have
so you have 3 points of charisma and
Okay, yeah.
1 point of etiquette. However, this is your domain. So, because it's your domain, you can do something specific. If I go to the right bit in the rule book.
because that bitch just badmouthed my friend, and I'm not having it.
Yeah.
And Gabe is sitting there in a corner and silently dying.
He's too distracted by the painting. He doesn't know this is happening yet. It's fine.
Okay, no, none of the Kotui buffs help you here. You just got to roll 4 dice. So, Vampire the Masquerade rules. Yay! Dice are usually components of 2 different things put together that are examples of things that are not. Are stats. There are like core stats and then skills. You roll that many pips. But each pip equals a d10. On a d10, a 1 to 4 is a failure. Oh God! Now we find out Callum doesn't know the rules.
It's okay.
This is
we're all
fine.
learning here. This is a space for open
1 to
art.
5 is a failure. Yeah, sorry. How many successes did you get? I should have told you what the difficulty was. So anything above a 5 is a success. 10s
Okay.
are critical successes if you get them in pairs.
So I have a 5, a 6, an 8, and a 7.
Cool. So that's 3 successes. That is enough successes for this conversation, which was a difficulty 2. Well, I had I the Picasso is not my area of expertise. I no, you're quite right. I apologize for any offense I may have caused. We are could
I'm
I get
Foxy.
Mark, pleasure.
Nice to meet you, Mark.
Could I get you a drink?
Oh, thank you. That's very kind. But like, I do this interval fasting where you don't eat anything after 6 p.m.
Yes.
but it's
Right.
very, very kind. She says with like the McDonald's cup. I mean, you gotta drink something, but diet stuff.
Yes. Sorry. What
No,
do
no,
you
it's
do?
fine. It's fine. You couldn't have known.
What are you? What do you do?
I'm me. I'm just a friend of Gabe.
Ah, I see.
To be honest, I
Uh,
don't really get all of the artsy fartsy stuff, but I like looking at cool pictures.
no, don't undersell yourself. You have outdone me with my own knowledge. um, I
That's just something I picked up from Tumblr.
yes, right.
But you know, Tumblr is a really interesting place for art because they like take what you know and put it into like these categories of, I don't know, cottagecore or fairycore, and put it on like a big college, and these colleges get like remixed and shared throughout the whole internet, and through the description of like different ways things are like looked at change over time. Like, do you know what dark academia is? It's like the
Please
latest hottest.
enlighten me. And
It's
I
like,
think you fully explained to this guy
yeah, and at the end of
everything about the internet.
basically at the end of the conversation, Foxy talks him into buying a dark romance dark academia book. She knows he will absolutely have a stroke. But she thinks it's
Yeah,
incredible funny.
you fully convinced this guy this is a worthy art movement. Not that I'm not saying that it's not, but like this guy is fully like, I have been so like, we've not been thinking about art in the right way. We need to investigate the ways that we talk about art in the modern age. We need influencers like yourself, and asks for like your information so he can contact you later.
Oh, I'm on Instagram and on Twitch at Foxfighter69.
Do you have an email?
Yeah, sure. Foxfighter69@gmail.com.
Right, sit down. Right. And obviously he doesn't know the meaning of the word 69, so he's just going to pass over that bit.
But also, like everything I know about art and stuff, I know from Gabe. So Gabe is the real genius here.
Great. I shall send my remarks to the institution afterwards. Altia, what would you be doing at this party?
Altair would kind of be, I guess, watching a little bit from wherever kind of Gabriel is kind of trying to keep within sort of his sphere. Kind of has a drink. He is kind of a taller figure, around kind of 6 foot, sort of quite slender built, dark hair with kind of, you can see there's two white streaks just where it's shaved at the sides, just above it. His eyes were quite dark once upon a time, but you can see there's very faint, almost opalescent flecks in them that don't quite seem human. He's wearing kind of a gothic style, sort of a very well-tailored kind of brocade jacket, pinstripe trousers, but new rocks on the bottom, and is holding, I guess, like a glass of wine if there's wine being served. And I guess we'll make his way over to kind of where Gabriel is sitting or standing or kind of otherwise vibing. And we'll offer out a second glass of definitely wine that's totally wine. That's definitely wine. Successful
Mechanically,
party.
is it wine?
No.
Mechanically, is it wine?
No. It
No,
is from
great.
a keg in the back of the hearse.
Yeah.
As a question,
Awesome.
I mean, sorry if I break the immersion right now, but like, wouldn't that like get jelly thingy and all?
Yep. It's also completely useless as
Yeah.
a substance of like to drink. Awful. You get no substance from it. Like, but it will stay down. Normal food and drink will not stay down for more than an hour unless but it won't stay down at all, and it will only stay up stay in up to an hour if you tell your body focus on pretending to be normal, which you can do to drink, but you will then throw it up an hour later. So yeah, that I guess if this is like your own supply of blood, it could have been cooled in the hearse. So
Yeah.
it's more like a blood pack that's been poured into a glass, which would probably be fine. I don't think it's going to sate any of your hunger, and I've been really nice and not made any of you do a vows check at the start of this session, so you're all only on one hunger. You walk over to where Gabriel is, and as your eyes also look at the painting, you are also drawn into its gaze. I would love for both of you to make me a roll.
Okay.
And I need that roll to be a specific type of roll. I'm just double checking where the fucking rules for it are. Okay, we will make you roll a resolve plus a resolve plus composure roll. That's two making you roll together.
And that's one hunger die.
Yes, you will have one hunger die.
Cool. Oh shit. Okay.
Oh, let me add that then.
Is that on top of stuff?
So, a hunger die. When you roll die, you replace one of your die with a hunger die for every point of hunger you have.
Ah,
A
gotcha.
hunger die is like a normal die. However, if you succeed with a pair of tens, which is a critical success, and one of those tens is on the hunger die, you have a critical success, a messy success. If you fail and there's a one on the hunger die, you get a bestial failure, which will equal different results. So,
I don't
what
want a
did we
10 and
get
I don't
in,
want a 1.
in terms of how many successes did we get? Which is
I
anything
got-
above a 5.
Yeah, I got 2 successes and then I got 2 tens, so that's a critical success, but I did roll a 1 on my hunger die.
It doesn't matter. You got a
Okay.
critical success.
Yeah.
That's fine, and it's not a messy success. Magpie, 4 successes.
I was rolling 7 die.
You
I was rolling
both-
6. Yeah.
You both kind of
us.
managed to take your eyes off the painting, and it's at this moment that Altair would Altair. Oh God, how the hell do you say your character's name?
Altair.
Magpie? My mouth. Altair. I don't know why, but my brain's gone completely empty. Altair,
Assassin's Creed.
you are like, wait a minute, that's nonsense. What? That's not right. And for Gabriel, you're not familiar or too familiar with the occult aspects of like vampirism. Like you have your disciplines, but you're not like any expert in objects of power that could exist or should exist or don't exist. Whereas, but you, with your successes, know that there is something fundamentally wrong with this painting. There is something about its very essence that is trying to affect your minds, similar to the way that a vampire does when they use their disciplines on a human mind, this painting isn't quite that powerful, but it is raw with some kind of resonance that is clawing at you and clawing at something in you really deep, that like it's as if the beast inside is being drawn into the art's kind of impression. And for Gabriel, I think you can very specifically place it, that building at the far end of the valley. Something happened there. Something that the artist doesn't like, or didn't like, or something that they regretted. Yeah. Voltaire, this is not on the scale of anything that you've been through a lot of things with magically crafted items. This isn't that. This is probably closer to glamour. Like the painting itself is giving such an intense, passionate energy that it has awoken something in the beast through observing it.
I will say quite well away, as in will position himself almost behind Gabriel a little bit, and will kind of point a finger over. Where did you get this one?
I don't remember.
You're getting the same thing I am, correct? It's
Uh-huh.
charged.
Yeah, there's something happened that went wrong. I've never felt this from a painting before.
Nor I. Strange. It feels as though you could walk directly into it.
Yeah,
Want to.
no, that feels like a very bad idea. Where is the painting in terms of like placement in the museum? Is it would it be noticeable if I were to just subtly take it down?
Yes, because you are at a party and everyone's kind of spread out on the whole exhibit.
Uh-huh.
It is in an unremarkable corner of the exhibit. It is not one of the featured pieces of work. It is part of the collection. You vaguely remember that in discussion there was this and something else on the page when you were like reading the document that had like a little picture of it, and even when you clicked on like the full picture in a web browser, it didn't have the same effect. This is the first time that you've seen it up in the um building, and it has now called to you in this way. Um, no one else seems to have noticed that it feels weird. Like the people, like in fact, a mortal couple look at it and go, "Huh, it's an odd color scheme," and walk away.
Okay, I'm gonna look at Altair and be like, I should take this down, shouldn't I? Especially there's more of us in here.
Yes, I would hate to think what it may do to somebody a little less, perhaps focused as we are. And on that note, he's going to look around for Foxy.
Yeah, my friends know what I am, a bitch. Yeah, you see Foxy like frolicking in your direction with the most dirtiest grin on her face. Hey, 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 hey!
Hand out to hold her hand.
Yeah, as soon as I see Foxy coming, I'm gonna smell like. How big is the painting, by the way?
Slightly bigger than a big 4K telly.
Okay.
20 inches from corner to corner.
Okay, so I could easily just grab it. Kind of.
It is this long.
Yeah.
You can, if you reach your arms out, grab both ends just about.
Yeah.
Ignore my measurements. I don't know how the measurements work, but like it's about this big.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do that for sure.
What's going on?
Okay.
You should not look at this painting.
Okay. Ellie, you won't believe it.
Do you look at it?
No. I trust my friends. If they say don't look at the painting, she will like. I mean, she will like. You can't not look at a painting because I have to look into the general direction when Gabe's talking
Yeah.
to me. But I'm not. Oh, what's the painting? But it's like, what's the paint? Okay, no, nope, nope, not
I
looking.
think because Gable's body is over the bit that is pulling at you, you're fine. In your hands, it doesn't feel wrong to touch. There's nothing weird about the paint or the frame or the glass. What does mark your attention is that the alarm has just gone off.
Oh shit. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
And there's a little bit of a hustle and fuss. People are looking at you. They didn't notice you've got a name badge on and are like, what? As two security officers come over to you. Can I help you, mate? What's going on here?
Oh, this shit. This painting just doesn't quite work the way I thought it was going to, and I forgot about the alarms. That's totally on me. I'm the one who set up this exhibit.
Right, yeah. All right, okay. Can I see your staff ID, please?
Of course, and I would imagine it'd be like on the inside of his jacket
Yeah.
pocket.
Right, okay. That checks out. Right, well, you put the painting back, and I'm sure you can fix it tomorrow.
Hold on. Hold on.
If you would like to dominate this person, you would be able to do so.
I
Are
do.
mortal.
Uh-huh.
They are mostly unprepared. What have you got? You have
I do have dominate.
first. Yeah, you have one of the first dominate skills. Do you remember which one
Yeah.
it was?
Yes, it is compel. I have compel.
Cool. In Vampire the Masquerade, vampires have magic powers. And dominate is not just the fact that they are tops. Where is
I mean,
the
and
Hey.
and you go like this because I say ubu once.
Yeah, well, I'm a GM. uh, compel. Here we go. With eye contact, the vampire can issue a single action command, no longer than a short sentence, to be obeyed and to the letter. It must be completed in a single turn. I can decide if you're ambiguous how to go with it. No roll is required against a mortal. Yeah, it's free. Go ahead. What is the sentence, the command you're going to give?
Try not to make it too ambiguous. turn off the alarms and leave.
Yeah, all right. Gary, can you turn the alarm off and call the police? Tell them it's false alarm. I'm gonna go outside for a smoke break, and kind of leaves the building.
Expertly done.
We're fine. Everything's fine.
So
Perhaps,
I'm not supposed to look at the thingy. Why?
Oh, it has something of an aura, though not necessarily in a good way.
So how about we just, I don't know, put a jacket over it and call it modern art, as in the real, so the real art is what you imagine it to be, or some other avant-garde thing.
If that was the theme of this display, it'd be fine, but it's not.
Perhaps
Yeah.
we take it home with us.
We have to do something with it. I don't know what, but something.
Well,
You
my
would
concern is
have access to storage, so you could take it back. You could take it back
Yeah.
into storage.
Yeah, I can put it back, and we just figure out what to do with it later.
right. How nearby is the storage? Would we have to take it beyond the premises?
It's in the building, so it's like you would be going off into a staff area to put it into storage, and Gabriel would have access to that.
Yeah.
Museum archive, museum archive.
Do you all go with Gabriel to do this?
I think so.
I feel like Gabriel might want someone to stay behind, not Foxy, to keep an eye on what's happening in because there are others here, and he doesn't want it to get messy in his museum.
Hey! Just because I told that one boomer to buy a Wonder book, okay?
I would offer to stay.
Okay, I
Yeah.
help. Okay, so I'm going with you. I'm not looking at anything. I'm just walking with you.
Great. So you head off back into the back and like down the corridors and into like the specially designed storage things for the art. You can delicately place it inside of a case in a temperature controlled room. I'll tap.
That
It's
guy.
like solitaire, but without the soul.
You notice as the Prince of the Camarilla walks through the doors of the gallery.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It's good that Foxy's not there.
The Prince of the Camarilla, who is Stephen Watson, is a tall, slick back, brown hair, suit wearing white guy. Noticeably, things to have note of Stephen. He's English, much to the chagrin of most people who are Welsh vampires. Hate the fact that he's Prince. He's Prince mostly because he so he fled London just before the Inquisition hit, and has been causing, basically arrived in Cardiff, caused a little bit of a ruckus, but shortly thereafter, the prince, who would have been in charge for a while, left. They just left Cardiff, and no one quite knows why. They just bogged off. So, uh, in that kind of chaos, and with the Inquisition having taken out London and killing the prince in London, the Camarilla in Cardiff fell to chaos. Stephen rose to prominence during that time, became prince, and was the one to suggest a vague peace agreement with the Anarch factions. Like in the chaos of the Camarilla in Cardiff, basically went, "I'm prince. We have to have a peace agreement with the Anarchs, or we're all fucked." And that is who walks through the door. Um, looks around and kind of you notice that they are alone as far as you can tell.
I guess Altair is still trying to keep an eye out on kind of what's going on. But for the sake of not causing a scene, we'll get the stick back up his ass and we'll go and make his way very prim and proper up to Stephen.
Yes. Where is the rest of your coterie?
Presently just handling matters down in the archives, that's all. Rechecking a few details. Gabriel wasn't quite happy with one of the items. Didn't quite live up to the expectations.
Of course. Well, I would like to inform you I shall be feeding from your domain today.
Fascinating. Today? I thought generally it was often good etiquette to give people at least 24 hours notice.
Unless you were unaware, I am the Prince of Cardiff. You have this domain because I allow it.
Hmm. See, I understand that. Of course I do. However, often power is earned, not just given. You must forgive me in saying that it would be good etiquette to therefore share some of your good nature with us. Please do not take my words as offense. They are merely just a
Those
help.
four kindred within your little exhibit, did they ask for permission?
No. Though they will be dealt with harshly soon after.
I told you as a formality and a polite olive branch. You have no true power here.
Hmm. Fascinating. Nonetheless, take your pick. I'm sure you'll find plenty of drunkards to get yourself drunk off of.
I am looking for a delicate kind, the art of mortals. It causes some of these wayward souls to have passionate feelings that are delectable in the correct sample size.
I'm gonna make a point of looking around at this time. Darling, I think you may be perhaps an hour or two too late. See, most of the folks beyond here are drunk. Most are aiming to end up drunk. I would be happy to point you to someone perhaps who fits your nature.
Please, if you think you can taste test for your prince, go ahead.
Gladly. And he's going to take a little nosy round.
Yeah.
I guess
So
he's looking. Sorry.
the people who kind of know you think are like, okay, he's looking for someone who is like engaging with the exhibit for the sake of the exhibit. And you're drawn to that group that Foxy was talking to earlier.
Wonderful. He will kind of pause, watch them for a second, and then we'll offer an arm out with me.
Well, takes your arm. This is a change in attitude.
We'll walk them up, and I guess we'll give like a quick spiel about saying like, oh, he's a patron, da 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 da, very important. All this
Oh,
kind of
he is. He
yeah.
is a patron of this museum.
He's giving like
He's
a
a
proper
patron
like
of lots of bits of Cardiff. He is the Ventru Prince of Cardiff.
Of
Oh,
course, he's
Has
a effing Ventru, of course.
has
Terry's trying to
wide
out-ventru him.
yeah wide. It's like, so this is the other kind of bit of context I probably should have given you in advance. He's not the head of the Ventru in Cardiff, like that, because all the clans are kind of split between Anarch and Camarilla, and there is another Ventru member of the Primogen Council who is the pseudo leader of the Ventru, but obviously he's the prince and of your clan, your supposed clan. Um, yeah. Well, I shall in future perhaps give you the notice that you asked for politely, and we can put
Thank you
this
very
little
much.
indiscretion behind us. I will have to talk to your expert in the realm of art later.
I'll organize a meeting.
Tomorrow. Around this time, 24 hours notice.
He will pull out a little pocket watch from kind of inside his jacket. We'll check it and we'll make a quite quick nod. Snap it closed, put it back in place. Perfect. We'll see you then.
Connor will obviously be representing me.
Forward.
You would know that Connor is the name of their seneschal. Normally, a prince isn't on the front line of things. This is clearly a social thing. The prince has come to this to as kind of like, this is the museum that I donate to. I am here. You lot, this is your domain, but it's my building. And like normally would not directly engage with you on work. This is, I'm here. I might as well do it. Yes, Connor is the seneschal, a Nosferatu seneschal. You would have seen them around before. You like you would know who the prince is because the Elysium might have had the Camarilla Elysium may have had moments where the prince is shown. He's very showy as a prince. He's a bit unusual as a prince. He constantly is kind of making people known that he's in town, and that like so I get so in some ways I ignore me. It's unusual for him to engage with you three because you're not Camarilla. But within Camarilla domain, will make shows of himself often as to why. Yeah, you could give me a roll for that. Let's have a look at your character. Where are you? You're the first one. Could you give me a wits and insight if you have it, which you don't because you can see your character sheet.
I don't have insight. That's 2 dice.
Yeah, just roll me some wits.
Just some wits.
The difficulty is 2. So you have to get 2 successes.
That's a 7 out of 10. Woo! Well, technically it's an ooh because I have a D100 setup going on. So it's an ooh and a 7.
Cool. Yeah. This is the sign. This is the sign of a prince who doesn't actually have any real power.
Yeah.
Cardiff is very, very firmly not in Camarilla control, and is attempting to like politician his way back into power. It was his fault. In some ways, it's his fault that the Camarilla are not in control of Cardiff. However, it seems to be part of a long game. It's just that the long game is being played by the seat of his fucking pants. And his attempt to not show that is going around making a show of himself. But honestly, you've seen enough people who are like trying to make their presence in a city known that this ain't it. He's he's not fully the he is insecure in himself and is trying to find power directly.
Adventurer who doesn't know that the king is played by the others.
Yeah, basically, is being a real shit venturer at the moment because he thinks it might win him political favor. He's a very insecure prince, which would normally be a sign that this guy's going to get killed by another wannabe prince. But because Cardiff's in a shit show right now, Camarilla Rise, no one can be asked to.
It's kind of like a thing of they kind of happy they have somebody playing the part so they can do their own little spiel.
He's effective as well. Like, despite how showy he is, most of the clans and the coteries are on board with what he wants to do. He has managed to negotiate a favorable deal with the Anarchs. The Primogene Council operates, and the Anarchs don't actively go against what the Primogene Councils say most of the time. So, like, in function, he works. It's just that he works because the state of the Camarilla in Cardiff is fucked. With that, we'll take our break, if that's okay with everyone. And we'll be back in. Let's give it 10 minutes, and if we're all back before then, we can jump back. Until then, we'll be back shortly.
Go.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Dead at Heart, our Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition, or V5 game. Last we left, the Prince of the Camarilla for Cardiff, Stephen Watson, had just entered the gallery as Gabriel and Foxy had gone back behind the magical staff-only doors of a museum to go and put a painting away that was giving bad vibes. And Altair spent their time offending and chatting up the Prince of the Camarilla.
Flirting. That's just how he is.
I didn't say flirting. I said talk up. That's a completely different thing. You suggested that.
What we all thought of.
Cool. So I think you led Stephen over to the couple, sorry, the two men and the woman that Foxy had interrupted earlier. And he looks at them and sees the one who interacted with Foxy has the most resonance. He's the one that's been most emotionally charged out of the three of them.
Oh
Due
no, I
to a
made him
conversation
dinner.
with Foxy. So looks at that one and goes, yes. And then kind of walks over to him and begins a conversation. As the guy is like looking at his phone on Amazon, trying to Google the book recommendation. Oh yes, yes, hello. And that conversation happens. Back behind the staff door, Gabriel, you have kind of found the right box that the painting came in. Could you both roll me a wits plus awareness? The difficulty is 3.
Oh, I'm good in awareness. You are my hunger die.
Oh wait, I need 100 die. Hold on.
Only 10 is a critical success, right?
2 10s becomes a critical success. So by itself, 1 10 is a success. 2 10s is 4 successes.
Oh. Oh wait, I need to roll one more.
It's all really very simple when you think about it.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
So,
after you.
I have 1 success and 3 failures.
Great. So you fail. Is
Yep.
any of those failures happen to be a 1 on a hunger die?
Yes, it is. It is.
Great. And how did you do, Bard?
I think I stole your dice because I have 2 10s and 1, 2, 3 successes.
Damn.
Like I transcend reality. I can feel the breath of the flies.
What did you get on the hunger die?
The 100 die is a 5.
Okay, you're fine. We'll do this. We'll start with Bard. You don't really know much about the behind the scenes of this building. This is what Gabriel does. But you do have eyes. So you look at all the boxes and go, this box you've got here that you're trying to put the painting away in, it's a completely different type of box to all the other boxes.
Yo, Gabe.
It doesn't.
Gabe, why is
It doesn't
blue?
have any shipping agent. It doesn't have any shipping labels on it, and all the others have still got the shipping labels on.
Why is there no sticker on? Why is it blue?
Why?
Yeah,
What?
I mean, we
it's
all
not-
love
okay.
blue
It's blue
boxes
now.
here, but why
Uh,
is it blue and why is there no
yeah.
sticker?
However, unfortunately, Gabriel can't be reached right now
Wait.
because
Okay.
as you find the right box, you look back over to the painting and you look straight into the center of it, and it is going to attempt to frenzy you. If I can find the rules for frenzy, which are somewhere in the book. Where? That's a great question. Where the hell? We are running into the problem. I hate this book as much as I think some of it's really cool, because it is never where you want it to be. I should have read it in my cheat sheet, but it's the one rule I didn't put in the cheat sheet. There we go. Frenzy rules. Here we go. Okay, so you must roll the same as your willpower. Wait a minute. So you roll willpower plus 1/3 of your humanity rounded down.
So that's
So if I've got your sheet, so your sheet here, so your humanity is currently 1, 2, 3,
sit.
4, 5, 6, 7. 7 divided by 3 is, we'll say it's 3. You've got, so it's yeah. So just roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Only 9 die. You'll be fine.
Okay. That's like all my dice.
Yeah. Oh, and the difficulty's 4.
Difficulty's 4. All right, I got
Yeah, you need to get 4 successes.
exactly 4 successes.
You are pulled deeper and deeper into this picture. You stare at the house, and as you look at it, the beast is pulling inside you to get away, get away, get away from the house, get away from the house, get away from the house. And you are a toreador. You're not usually open to seeing things through your vampire abilities. But in this moment, you are in a small cottage. There is a fire, a stone fire that is lighting the room, and there is a young person, you cannot identify their gender, who you are looking through the eyes of, who is painting this picture. And you hear behind you Beth ymweld to wneud? Dwi 'di sôn am hyn o flaen. Paid. Peidiwch. And you are brought back into the moment, resisting the painting.
I'm going to shut the box as quickly as possible.
Go ahead. Yeah, you can do that. You managed to achieve that. I'm gonna say, how nice am I gonna be? Could you roll me, Gabriel? Could you roll me? Yeah, roll me intelligence plus academics, and it is not an art roll, so you don't have a specialty in it. But
Okay.
roll me, and the difficulty is 2.
Oh. Intelligence versus academics. Okay. Yeah, it's 2 successes.
Cool. You're pretty sure, despite where this collection is meant to have come from, that was Welsh. The thing that you heard
Yeah.
it was someone speaking Welsh.
You Gaby Gabe.
Hmm.
Okay.
Um.
Do I need to leave the room quickly and shut the door behind you so you have your 5 minutes?
No, I think I'm fine. I think I'm fine. We should get back to the party now.
Did you look at the painting? No, somebody told me not to look at the painting.
That sounds like a really smart man.
By the way, people were shit talking you. I spun it around and wingmaned you a bit. Somebody is gonna write you a mail, I think, about cottagecore and dark academia and the new kinds of art found in postmodern and postmodern. I don't know. I use some of the fancy words you usually use.
Yeah, let's go back to the party.
I will give you a little bit more, Bard, because you got so many successes. The box that you've just put the painting away in is a different color to the rest. The rest are like these beige wooden boxes that are like standard for museum. This is a bright blue box. It's like a very light blue as well. There are no shipping labels on it, and you would notice that on the top is is lettering or like script, but you can't read.
Gabe, before we go, do you know that?
I'm assuming it's in Welsh as well.
Welsh doesn't have its own script. I would need another academics and intelligence check from both of you.
Academics. Okay, intelligence academics. Right.
I'm at least kind of smart. Okay, no, I'm
Difficulty 3.
That's 5 successes.
Yeah, no.
Cool. It's not actually script that you would recognize. It is a cipher.
Ooh.
It is a code cipher. It is clearly the marks are purposeful but do not form any script that you are familiar with. So you deduce that it is code that requires a cipher.
What is that?
The structure of it as well means that you are pretty sure it's words. Because of the closeness of the symbols, there's obvious gaps. So you're assuming it's a letter for letter cipher where someone has basically created their own syntax to use in delivering messages.
I will pull out a small sketchbook that I have in one of my inner pockets, and I will write down the script really quickly.
Yeah.
Holy shit,
It's currently unsolvable because you don't have a reference for what it could be, and you could play Hangman's Loose on the amount of words, the amount of letters in each word, but you would never have no idea how to get it correct. So no,
Yeah, no,
infinite
it's just a for later. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
for
for
later
later.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Can I simply make a picture with my smartphone?
Using your smartphone
Yeah.
that you can touch.
Why shouldn't I?
Vampires can't use smart touchscreen devices.
No, really?
To do so, they must rouse the blood in order to do so.
Right.
So,
I would.
Yeah.
But there are these pens. They don't be. They aren't warm.
Oh yeah, I guess you do have smartphones that need pens again. That is true.
I've got a fucking BlackBerry.
Or as we joke every time you play a vampire game, weirdly, loads of Blackberries keep on getting sold. Which wouldn't be possible because the business is defunct.
There are old.
There are stylus smartphones in the modern age. I think Samsung did one like 2 years ago.
I believe.
So you're
No, I believe she would just have an old school phone that still got a camera, a shitty camera, but a camera.
Yeah.
And would be like, nothing a good algorithm can't prove for us.
yeah. Well, we'll see. Yeah, and you make your way back out to the party. Altair, do you leave the prince to feed, or are you watching him like a hawk?
I think
Okay,
knowing
are
that
you
he-
watching?
I feel like he's keeping an eye.
Mhm.
He's sort of surveying to see what else is going on because he's figuring there's other kindred here. But otherwise we'll kind of sweep, we'll go back to watching him. Sweep, we'll go back to watching him, kind of seeing what he's doing, that he's not making a mess.
Yeah, could you roll me wits plus awareness? Difficulty 4.
That's 2 plus awareness. That's 1, 2, 3. Oh. So live, laugh, love. That's 2 9s on not hunger die. That's a 3 and a 2 on not hunger die. But that's a 1 on the hunger die.
Well, he's definitely gone.
Yeah.
Fully not there. How the fuck do I make you fuck up in a bestial way? Let me go to Callum Explains Vampire the Masquerade document to see the options. Yeah, that's a bestial failure.
My thinking
What it
is
tells me I can do.
Altair has quite high intimidation. I feel like he does occasionally let the beast out specifically for that. If he maybe lets it slip a little bit.
Yeah, what's your compulsion as a caitiff?
I don't think I have one yet. Hold on. Do I have one yet? I don't think we have them, no. Caitiffs don't. Even though it's even true.
Don't you like pick one?
I don't know. I think because they have that much else going on.
I only played Vampire 20, and I believe, or was that the Thin Blood thing? I don't know.
I think also cat's out of the bag. Altair is technically a caitiff.
Well, yeah. Mechanically, socially, nah. But
Socially,
mechanically,
he's
I
pretending
need
to
to
be
know.
a
No.
Ventru.
Yeah. Yeah, the clan doesn't have a compulsion. It's not there. Well, I guess we're gonna roll compulsion.
Yay!
Roll me a d10. Tell me what you get.
Which one? Which one? Fairy die or orange die? I'm going fairy.
Very.
That's an 8.
Cool. Lovely.
Get whiskers.
You are like hyper aware he has gone. He walked into your party and offended you, said what he was going to take, and now is gone.
Cool.
There are other vampires here. They other kindred here? What were they here for? Where did that painting come from? What's going on? I'm confused. My friends aren't here right now. You are becoming paranoid of everything around you. In the moment that the guy goes, the prince is gone, everything feels like it's too much. It could be an after effect of like seeing that painting and the prince's like attitude, but the beast inside is having an anxiety attack.
Mood.
And now you're like, what's next? What's the next thing that's gonna go wrong?
Cool. I feel like he composure drops. He'll kind of slick a hand through his hair, sort of as almost kind of like a nervous kind of compulsion. Alta has a kind of split tongue kind of outside of that, like it's had it cosmetically done years ago, but it kind of turns almost like a little more serpent like. He's kind of in the corner trying to get that back into kind of control, fangs back in, ears back how they're supposed to be rather than kind of pointed tops. Is just going to kind of try and pat himself down and take his way straight out of the museum building.
Great.
He has
You are
parked
outside
his
the museum in the fresh air, and you fail to notice 4 men walk past you
Oh shit.
as you leave, who are entering the gallery. You don't notice them, but they do enter, and they probably enter around the same time that uh, Gabriel and Foxy re-enter the main space. On a quick look round, you don't see Altair, but what you do see as you enter is 4 young-ish looking men, 2 white, 1 black, and someone of Middle Eastern descent have walked in. There is one in charge. There's the one is like quite slightly taller than the others, and is wearing like a brown leather jacket, similar to this one actually. And his friends spread out, and immediately the 2 of you can tell these are kindred. You've not seen them before, but they definitely are kindred. And they actually begin hassling members of the guests, like getting into their space, looking them up and down. The leader walks up to the man and the woman who was left of the party that Foxy had interacted with, and literally snaps the drink out of their hand. Yeah, and they are causing a ruckus, and they seem to be looking around for someone. They haven't noticed you 2 yet.
I'm gonna talk to them.
I'm gonna so one of them is presumably the leader. I'm going to walk up.
Yeah, he's the one with the big leather jacket, and like
Uh-huh.
he kind of pointed in directions for the others to go.
Oh yeah, I'm like straight, just going for him. Just not aggressively, but just a little brisker than I probably would be otherwise.
Foxy's following you, but she takes the headphones off.
I think at that point he turns and looks at you 2. So, who are you then?
I'm the one running this gala. Can I help you?
Yeah, we're looking for the Camarilla Prince.
Well, you're out of luck. I haven't seen him.
My eyes and ears told me he was here.
Well, if he was, he's
So,
gone.
Do you see him? I don't see him. Do you see him, Gabe?
I don't see him.
you part of those camis or
Hell no.
Absolutely not.
it's a nice place you've got here. Shame if someone mess it up a bit, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it
would
would.
be.
So, what are you going to do to make me leave?
A pretty please.
The thing is, I came here looking for a really specific guy, and he's not here.
I mean, we can help you look.
Ah, well, how can I turn down such a generous offer from someone of your proclivities?
Woof.
Does your nose smell as good as those ears do?
That's speciest.
I don't really care.
You're free to look for the prince, but I would appreciate it if you didn't bother my guests, please.
Thing is that me and the boys, we were looking for to have a bit of fun tonight, and it hasn't gone our way. So your coterie doesn't seem to be here in full force.
Oh, so you've heard of us. Are you a fan? I've got some autographs.
We've heard about you. And listen, we don't particularly care about the masquerade either. But
I don't know what you mean. I'm just a cute little streamer. And she's staring daggers at him.
is that an attempt of intimidation?
No, it's not really intimidation. More like a I might be Anak. It's like a subtext that I might be Anak, but I don't want a bloodshed. Let's not talk about this stuff in front of mortals.
Yeah, that is noticeable. He is outwardly talking about shit, and there's like two humans stood right next to you. It's weird that a vampire would do this, but he has literally just said to you he doesn't care about the masquerade.
We could always move this outside if you'd prefer.
I turn to the other
Thing
two
is-
humans next to us. Hey, by the way, I told you about cottagecore. Have you already heard about fairycore and goblincore? That's like two totally different things. I'm gonna tell you all about it and shush them towards the entrance, like a bit out of way. Like let the rose do her his job. I'm gonna evacuate.
And are you gonna make me go outside?
I'm not the best at making anyone do anything, however. It's up to you, I guess, since you don't seem to be the most compliant.
Oh no.
Unfortunately, where
I guess. I guess, Gabe, you made
am I
me.
gone?
You were for a second, yeah.
You're back. I'm gonna throw us on. Go.
My internet is trying to end this game. And look, and what's Bard doing? Bard's throwing balloons. That tells you how much respect my players have for my. Um. Okay, so you hear a weird noise, and you look to your right and you see that one of the vampires who've entered is biting into a person in open view of the party.
Oh, fuck no.
God damn it.
I still have like my 2 mortal dudes.
Yep. You've led them out and they've kind of been shuffled away.
Yeah. Like, it was so lovely. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for stopping by. I come back and see this, and I'm like,
Yeah. Okay. As you shuffle them away, you do look outside for a second. Could you give me a quick awareness and wits roll, please?
3 and 2, and the orange one is my hunger die. 3
Difficulty 2.
successes. 3
Okay.
successes.
Yeah. You remember that security guard who got sent outside to have a smoke?
Hey,
His body's lying on the ground.
fuck. Are there
Yeah.
already people around that body?
No. So the building has these pillars in front of it. And because it's dark, you can't quite see, and everyone else hasn't really noticed, but you notice because you smell it. You smell that he's dead as a vampire. He's kind of hidden down. Am I thinking about the right building? uh, yes, I am thinking of the right building. Yeah, he's hidden behind a pillar. Not very well, but he's definitely hidden behind a pillar.
Okay. If Foxy moves there, she will draw attention to it, so she leaves him. There were other kindred at the party, right?
Yes, and they all look at what's going on, and like they're all like, "What the fuck?"
And one of them is simply
They
biting
are like,
immortal?
yeah. So there were 4 kindred already at the party. I think by the time this happens, 2 of them have left. There's only 2. There's only the 2 left. And then as Altair left to deal with their frenzy of being paranoid, the paranoia made them ignore the fact that these 4 guys had just walked in.
That's the went through when we need it. Okay. I'm just gonna tackle the guy who's biting.
Great, cool.
Everybody's in a shock right now, so I'm gonna break the silence. Like,
roll me strength plus brawl.
and like
Or
Foxy is
melee.
160. Like, Foxy is small. 3 successes. Like,
Yeah, great.
comes in the door. Nope. Run.
So you run, tackle, grab the guy. As you do, his teeth cut into the person he was biting, and blood spurts out. As he kind of, you've got him off the person, but blood is spurting out the person who's like you disrupted it. You basically got his teeth to rip.
Yeah,
a
I
little bit of
basically
the
gripped the
throat.
knife.
Yeah. So normally vampires in Vampire the Masquerade, when they bite someone, it releases a toxin into their body that makes it a pleasurable experience. It also causes the wound to heal really quickly afterwards. But because you've basically made them go across her neck's fucked. And yeah, there is that before that moment, no one had really noticed that the bite happened apart from the other kindred. Like,
Oh,
it looked
okay,
like
okay,
someone was just
okay.
necking
Sorry,
on.
I thought all the mortals already saw and everybody was staring at it.
Well, people had seen it, but they hadn't quite figured out what was going on. But you
Okay,
as vampires
okay,
would know that.
okay. Sorry.
I
May
would
I?
let you retcon it, but I there is a world of me that's like, I think this is more interesting.
I leave it to the other two players.
Ah!
I mean,
Yes. How aware of the
Let's
situation
retcon it.
was Foxy?
yeah.
Not very, because you just kind of came back in and that's what you saw.
Oh, Ellie's back.
No,
Okay.
Altair is currently still outside dealing with a paranoia.
He's gone back to
The
the
game
hearse.
says you're not meant to have done it until you've been in a safe spot for an hour.
Ooh. Okay.
Someone could drag you back into the scene, but I think right now you're just focusing on not losing your beans.
Because he'd have to count them.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have. Well, unless that's one of your flaws. Yeah.
When Foxy sees this, and the other mortals don't really clock it right now, she like shoots a look to the other kindred, which is actually like, and like makes a. Can I roll? What can I do? Like I think she would put on her presence and put on awe, and would try to make it like, oh, I see the after show fun is starting. Party people, I believe if you're here for the finer arts, it's a good time to go now. Like
Oh,
she would
okay. This is
try to
good
frame
use.
it.
Let me check.
I've got the
Yeah.
first point in presence, and I picked awe. I don't know if I marked it down.
Yeah.
I don't have persuasion,
Yeah.
but I do have 2 points in manipulation, and I look cute.
Let me find the furries in the audience are really going for it.
Callum, you don't even know my true power
Two
yet.
guys and a gal, just two guys and a gal, just immediately do whatever you say, no matter what. Okay, so it's free. Manipulation plus presence. Add the presence rating to a skill involving. Okay, yeah. I will let you. Let's roll charisma plus performance. Difficulty 4.
Do I put my
And you get
streaming?
to add. And you get to. No, but you do get to add a die for your ore.
Okay, so charisma 1, 2, 3, performance 1, 2, and 1 for R, and you are my hunger die. Thank God I didn't pick. I picked another die as my hunger die. No, wait. Okay, I rolled really good. I have 2 10s on non-hunger dice and 2 7s, and the rest is below 5.
Cool. Everyone looks at you. Here's the party's over. Heard a little bit of mention of an after party and starts to make their way out.
I'm so sorry, but you can come again tomorrow.
As they kind of filter out, the 4 antagonistic vampires look around, get a little bit annoyed. They kind of all gather around to you two. The one who's feeding, still just feeding on this poor person.
Door closed.
Actually, they don't just feed. Seeing that everyone else is going, no one's going to stop me.
Yes.
Trains are dry.
Can we stop him?
I think in the chaos of what you're doing, and I think you don't notice he's done it until she's dead on the floor. So like he walks over now because she just drops to the floor.
Did you just leave us a body?
Yes, Yes, he did. What are you going to do about it?
If you tell us where we can find you, we can give a body back. Since you seem to like them so much.
Cardiff is about to go under another revolution. We are tired of this pitiful existence of peace.
Foxy's eyes go absolutely flat against her head. You're
Fuck
n-
all of it.
You're not trying to build a new Sabbath, are you?
We're going to burn it all down.
Oh,
These fucking anarchs. They talk about anarchy. I'll show you anarchy.
shut up.
And two of the guys pull out Molotov cocktails.
Wait, like, are they? Oh my god!
And they go to light. Now, fun fact: in Vampire the Masquerade, fire is a mortal fear of vampires.
Uh-huh.
You will have to make resistance to frenzy checks on the sight of fire.
What do I roll?
They haven't lit them yet. There is a moment where you could stop them from lighting them.
That's what I will do.
Yeah. How would you like to attempt to do this?
Let me see, what can I do?
That's
will
all you
try-
can-
I know, I was like, I knock them out of their hands, essentially, is all I can think in the moment. Just
Yeah. How do you attempt to do this? Because I think there's an argument to be made that you could do this
Yeah.
dexterously and athletically.
preferably
So-
dexterity.
Yeah, you dexterously and athletically roll those two for me, and the two net. So the difficulty is a 2. To get both of them is a 4.
Like he has 2 Molotov cocktails?
There were 2 guys with Molotov cocktails. Yeah.
Oh, mother trucker.
So fun fact: when I was building your domain has no security value.
You really do love us.
It didn't really make sense to because you're like a social group. And I didn't really understand how coterie creation worked, so I just kind of threw things together and then realized what I'd done.
Okay.
It was a big area, and you got a lot of presence there. But yeah, security, shite, mate.
Okay. So 4 difficulty if I have to get both.
Yeah.
Okay. Fuck. It's 3 successes and 1 failure. Not on the hunger die.
You could spend a willpower to re-roll that 1 failure if you wanted to.
Okay. Yeah, I will spend the 1 willpower.
It's only half damage, but yeah.
Yeah, it's
Whatever.
still a success. It's a success.
Great. You quickly grab the drinks out of their hands. So you can put up a fight. Fucking fascinating.
Not just a pretty face, you piece of shit.
Feisty. Fine. And they make their way out. Is a dead body on the floor still?
Yeah. Gabriel's just processing the last however many minutes. That was probably not even more than 5.
You would
Fuck!
also be aware that this building has security cameras.
Uh-huh.
Fuck.
Altair's not here. And yeah, that was a shit time, huh?
Foxy like goes over to Gabe and Loki hangs on his arm. Is like Gabe. They can't restart. Whatever. They can't do that. They can't do that. We have 2 fucking bodies and fuck.
What, 2?
Yeah, the guy you sent outside is laying behind a pillar.
God damn it.
God dang it! Where's Ali? Where's the fucking ranger when we need him?
And how far outside is Altair?
So
Did
he
you go
would
see
have
your
left.
car, Altair?
Pardon?
Did you go see your car, or did you just go outside?
He went to his car. Can I? Do you want me to describe the horrifically extra car that Alta has?
Yeah, you describe the car while I figure out how far away the car park is.
Cool.
Why do you always know the car of your character?
I really enjoy doing car horoscopes. It's one of my favorite things is assigning cars to characters. Altair has a 1960s Cadillac hearse. It's been lowered on the suspension. There is a V8 fitted in it, so the kind of top of it sticks out the top. The back of it's been turned into a limousine rather than a straight up hearse. Or at least there's like seats in the back of it. And when the engine is kind of fired up or when it's unlocked, there is a purple halo light that kind of shines on the pavement underneath it. This is his pride and joy. This is his baby. This is his child. This is the closest thing to family he's had in a long time. Other than the coterie.
Cool. So the car park is behind the museum.
Cool. Yeah, he's absolutely
So,
like,
like if you walked outside, you couldn't see Altair. Altair is gone. You could assume that they've gone to their car, which is behind the building.
I, as the player, know that usually if you play Camarilla, this would be the moment you call the sheriff. We're Anax. What do we do?
But Anarchs, and you're not really that involved in the Anarch community. So basically, by being third party, like vaguely third party, you're basically fucked.
yay!
No, we're not.
What it has done has basically gone, whoever these fuckers are, who they refuse to identify themselves, have come here because A, apparently they think the prince was here, and B, you are easy targets.
Where's the security room? I'm gonna try to loop the camera so that it's not on the. Oh, fuck no! This is a museum. You're gonna have ancient technology. But still, I'm gonna try to.
It's got pretty modern tech. It's like the best museum in Wales.
Okay, so show me the tech room. I'm gonna try to loop the cameras. You're the Tory. You call the people you need to call, and we're gonna find Ellie.
And I just vaguely tell her like the directions to get to the.
Also, there's still a body outside. Inside here is. Wait, no, fuck. I'll send you a text as soon as I think I've got the cameras looped, and then you can get the other guy inside, and we decide later. Maybe.
Okay, no.
I think.
Okay.
Okay. in this moment of panic, I will call this chapter of our chronicle to an end. We will be back in a week's time, where we might get some answers to some of what happened today. We'll find out, or we'll just spend the whole session going, "Fuck, what do we do? Fuck, what do we do?" You could call the sheriff. You're not Camarilla, but you could call the sheriff. That's an option. You could talk to the people in the Anarchs and find out what's happening. You could just hide in a hovel until the whole thing blows over. We'll find out what our lovely coterie decide to do in a week's time. Till then, I will have everyone say goodbye in reverse order. So we'll start with Magpie.
Hi, howdy. I'm Magpie. You can find me online at Antique Horror. I am a comic writer and tabletop writer, question mark. Not a professional one, but I do it anyway. Yeah, that's about it. Usually I post silly Warhammer things that I'm doing. Riley's shouting at me in the chat.
Yeah, right.
Good night.
Next, we have Monroe.
Hey y'all, I'm Monroe. You can find me online at Monroe. Just doing general game design things, writing, sensitivity reading, all that, and the occasional performance here and there. So
And Bard.
Hi, everybody. I'm the Bard with Many Names. You can find me basically everywhere on the internet as the Bard with Many Names. I am a German voice actor, screenwriter, whatever we creative people tend to do. I can't wait for next week.
And I have been Callum, and will continue to be so. You just won't see or hear me unless you head over to Theatre Callum on Blue Sky. Remember the K in my name; it's important. I have been this little coterie and chronicles storyteller. I'll be back next week. Please remember to check out on Sunday our new season of A Season's Oath, which will be running for 4 weeks with a new cast. Watch out for our socials for any other further announcements of the things we are getting up to at House of Dreams. I may have been in a conversation just before this stream went live about something very fun and fruity to do. So until then, and Magpie doesn't even know about it, and Magpie's in our director's chat, and it's not even in there.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, huh?
What are we doing? You don't know, because me and Hector have been doing things in secret.
Sneaky
until then,
secrets.
goodbye.
Bye.